Hey, what's up guys? We're here at Laundry Bar with Daphne Khoo from Singapore. So guys, Daphne here has actually been an artist since like 2007. That's when she released her first album.
Yes, so
And-
quite a while ago actually.
Yeah, I know. And now in 2016, she's a Berkeley graduate. She's had a track with Paul Van Dyke come out, and it's pretty crazy stuff. So, Daphne, 2007, you came out with Desperate. When are we ever gonna get a new album?
I actually got my EPs here tonight. The EP came out in 2014 and it has 5 songs on it, but it was kind of like my post, like after graduation, that I put the EP together.
I
But
see.
it's not like, there's so much more music that I want to give the world, so watch out for it.
You released Louder last year with Paul Van Dyke and Roger Shah.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about working with 2 artists with names that big.
To be very honest with you, I had no idea when I went into the writing session that we were going to write for Paul Van Dyke. So it was just, we actually wrote the song, me and 2 of my friends who wrote it like maybe 2.5 years ago,
Wow, okay.
when I was still living in New York. And it was like, come on over, we just did a writing session, and it was, I didn't know who it was for, but like, the guy who was the liaison knew that Paul Van Dyke had a new track, and then he just like seeds it out to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So we kind of wrote on it, and then we waited and sat on it, and a year later the manager emailed and was like, so Paul wants this on his new album, and we were like, yes.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about like your biggest influences in songwriting, like your favorite artists, or what you draw influences of for your lyrics?
That's always really tough because there's so many people that I look up to in terms of like music and songwriting. I mean, for me when I started, it was a lot of like Michelle Branch. A lot of the singer-songwriters like Sarah Bareilles and people like that. But of course, as I got into songwriting and I started to really like break down songs and stuff, people like Sia and Bruno Mars and Max Martin and Dr. Luke and all these people, and Benny Blanco, people like John Bellion, like they're all huge inspirations to me, like doing what they do in the modern age and like really relating to people and what they're going through, and what the world is going through as well, and to be relevant as well.
I see.
So yeah, they're all pretty huge influences to me.
Okay, now, but not only are you an artist, but you're a professionally trained one. I would say professionally trained because you actually hold a degree from Berkeley in songwriting.
Yeah.
Now, how important is it to you to kind of master your craft?
To be very honest, like I always wanted to go to music school, but I went to media school first because it's what I already had a diploma in, so it made sense to just do the affiliated uni and graduate in a year.
Yes.
But I went on a whim, like with my grad trip money. Instead, I went straight to, I applied for a summer course at Berkeley,
Yeah.
which is like, actually I didn't know this but you don't have to audition to get to the summer course at Berkeley.
But you came
can just
prepared.
go. You can just go and you just have to pay the money.
Now, you studied songwriting, but what are the most difficult parts of songwriting for you personally?
On a personal scale, it's very hard for me to write songs about things that I've been through. Even though a lot of songs that I play at live shows are about things that I've been through, but it's hard for me to be satisfied enough to record something when I write about a personal experience.
Yeah.
And it gets even harder to just write about it in the first place. It takes a long time. Yeah.
Okay. Now, all right. This is gonna be the hardest question I'm ever gonna ask anybody, because like, what tips do you have for writers?
Okay, I actually have a really good answer for this, even though I go through writer's block myself a lot. But so this is my remedy. Okay, so I read this book called The Writer's Habit. I think it's the Creative Habit. I think that's what it's called. I don't even know the name of the book. It's a really good book. You should go look it up. But basically, what she said to do is from the minute. Oh no, actually this is from another book. But anyway, what I read and what I do is that you wake up every morning, and for artists, right, and for creative people, we always think like, oh, we can only make magic happen at night, right? So we have our whole day, and then we at like 5, 6 o'clock, we eat already, like song already, then we'll sit down down and be like, okay, gotta write now.
Right.
But actually, and then like, you know, you wait, then you get into it, and before you know it's 5 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The best thing, or 4 a.m. and then see the magical hour is 4 a.m. Now there's no denying this, but a really good practice is, or what I do is I set up a private blog. You can set up a private blog, or you can have your own like journal and write like rubbish. The first 5 minutes of every morning, you wake up and you just write stuff. Don't think about it, just like word vomit, just word regurgitation of whatever is blank in your mind. And you look at that and you be like, wow, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm reflecting the world. And 5 minutes is actually a long time when you really think about it, when your mind is blank and you're so groggy. But then you'll notice that as you go through your day, a lot of things will inspire you and you'll think about things more, you get more mindful of what's going on around you.
Okay.
And then you just write those things down. And when you get writer's block, you go back to those ideas and you just start from there.
Alright, now we're going to go a little bit more serious over here because you're a cancer survivor. Really, and I think a lot of people can't imagine what it'd be like to go through cancer so early in life. What was your first reaction to that news that you had a rare form of ovarian cancer?
To be honest, I was too focused with school to like, I mean, they didn't really tell me it was cancer at first, they just said I had a growth. And then I went to go look it up and I said, okay, I mean, then you just take it out lah, you know, do whatever you need to do. And so, I was really focused on just like, you know, getting it out. Then when the nurse called and told me that it was cancer, it was kind of a shock, a huge shock. But I think what hit me the most is when she asked, do you have any family that can be with you right now? And that is when I started to cry lah, because I wasn't so much sad about being sick or whatever. I was just sad that at like a really time of epic proportions, none of my, like I had no family members anywhere nearby. My dad was actually in Atlanta, I think, or actually in the States, so he flew down straight away. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, like throughout the process, I was more relieved than anything because I've been working and singing and doing school for like at least 10 years at that point, non-stop. Yeah. So I was tired. Like I was ready to. I was like, God, if this is you telling me to take a break, okay, I'll take a break. So it was kind of it was like a good year-long, at least 8-month break.
Really?
So I was kind of relieved, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel it is pretty inspiring that you could look at it in such a positive light because for a lot of people it's a reason to lose hope when you find out that you have cancer.
Well, I mean, I was lucky too because it was stage 1 and they said it's very curable.
Yes.
Especially with chemo. Chemo, my kind of cancer reacts really well to chemo.
Yes.
In a sense that it like kills all the cancer. So I was like, okay, well, let's do it. It sucked losing my hair. That was probably the worst part. But and I feel like post-surgery complications. So that was tough. But at the end of the day, it was like a good. Like I would never. I know now, like I need to push myself for certain things, but not to the point where my health gets in the way. Like I really know how important it is to get my health in check now.
Did the experience of going through that change the way you look at life and the way you write music?
To be honest, the way I was writing music was changing as it was.
Yeah.
And so there was a change, I think, in my writing style, but also the kind of music I listened to changed a little bit as well, I think.
All right, so do you have any words of encouragement or anybody who would be going through the same kind of situation as you have?
Like being sick?
Yeah. So it's like anybody who's going through a condition that they feel makes you feel hopeless, really.
Well, the only advice I have is that to know that in your life and in the big scheme of things, this is just one moment in time. It's gonna be really tough, but it's true when they say like, if you feel like you're in the pits, the only way to go is up. And if you keep fighting and hoping and knowing that you're capable of more and that your life is capable of more, slowly like tell yourself that you'll get there and fake it till you make it lah.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Daphne.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Sure.
Take care.
Good luck for the show tonight.
Thank you.
And everybody, Daphne Khoo.